The rain was pouring that night, heavy and relentless, turning the quiet city streets into slick mirrors of chaos. Headlights cut through the downpour, but visibility was low and the roads were slippery. Everything happened in seconds. A sudden screech of tires, a loud crash, shattered glass flying through the air, and then silence. She lay there on the side of the road, her body bruised, clothes soaked, and blood trickling from her temple. Her eyes fluttered open just for a moment, but she couldn't remember her name, where she came from, or even why she was there. Everything was a blank. Darkness swallowed her again. He was just getting off a call when he noticed the wreck. Black. Suit drenched, umbrella forgotten in his rush, he ran towards the motionless figure by the curb. His driver tried to hold him back, warning that it could be dangerous, but the man didn't stop. He was the type who made decisions on instinct, and once he made them, he never turned back. That man was Lu Ziyan. 33, cold-faced, ruthless in business, and known as the youngest self-made CEO in the city's corporate world. He didn't believe in fate. Until that night. She was unconscious for 2 days. When she finally opened her eyes, she found herself in a strange, luxurious room. The kind of place that smelled expensive, like polished wood and quiet wealth. Everything was soft, pillows, lighting, even the voice that asked gently, "You're awake?" She turned her head slowly. A tall man stood at the edge of the bed, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice hoarse. He paused for a moment, then replied, "I'm the one who found you. There was an accident. You've lost your memory." Her eyes widened. "I don't remember anything. Not even my name. You were alone. No ID, no phone, just this." He held up a necklace, simple, silver, with the initials YR. "Is that mine?" she asked, touching her neck instinctively. He nodded. "Maybe it'll help you remember something. But until then, you'll stay here." "Here?" she asked, looking around again, still overwhelmed by the quiet elegance of the place. "Yes, it's safe here." She didn't understand why a stranger, this powerful-looking man, would take her in, but something about the way he spoke, not kind exactly, but certain, made her feel strangely safe. He told her his name, that he was the CEO of a large corporation, and that she had been lucky he found her before anyone else did. She didn't know what to believe. Her own face in the mirror felt unfamiliar. The next few days were strange. She kept trying to remember, but nothing came back. No family, no friends, no past. It was like she'd been dropped into a movie halfway through. And Lu Ziyan? He was quiet most of the time, polite but distant, like he wasn't used to people being in his personal space. But then, in the smallest moments, he surprised her. He ordered new clothes for her, comfortable ones. He arranged a doctor to check on her twice. He even had a shelf added in the kitchen because she liked to reach for snacks late at night and the cabinets were too high. She asked him once, "Why are you doing this? You don't even know me." He looked at her for a long moment and said, "Because you were alone, and I had the power to help." Simple words. But somehow they stayed with her. She started to laugh again. Little things, like how she mistook his assistant for a bodyguard, or how she nearly set fire to toast. And slowly he started to smile too. Not often, not fully. But it was a start. They became a strange pair. Her, the cheerful amnesiac with wide eyes and a kind heart, and him, the sharp, disciplined CEO who somehow couldn't look away from her. But just as she started feeling like she belonged, strange things began to happen. One night, she had a dream. It felt too vivid to be just a dream. Flashes of someone calling her name, someone crying, a soft voice saying, "Run!" She woke up in a cold sweat, heart racing, and a whisper of a name on her lips. Yanyan? Was that her name? Or someone else's? She didn't tell Lu Ziyan right away. She didn't want to seem crazy, or worse, be sent away. But he noticed the change in her. How she stared longer at her reflection. How she flinched at loud noises. Then, one morning, a woman appeared at the company, tall, elegant, and furious. "I heard you've been keeping a girl," she said, voice dripping with jealousy. "Is this your new toy, Xian?" His face turned to stone. She, the girl with no memory, stood behind a corner listening, a knot twisted in her stomach. Was she just a toy to him? But then the woman said something that made her blood freeze. "I saw her picture. That girl, she's supposed to be dead." And just like that, everything cracked open. Who was she? Really? Why did that woman think she was dead? And why was Lu Xian protecting her so fiercely? She turned to go back to her room but stopped in her tracks. Standing at the end of the hall was a man she had never seen before, but who looked at her like he had been searching for her for years. His lips moved silently, and she thought, just for a second, he mouthed her name. Before she could say a word, Lu Xian appeared behind her. His voice was calm but laced with steel. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" The stranger's gaze didn't leave her face. "Yan Yan, is that you?" She flinched. That name again. "I'm sorry, do I know you?" she asked quietly, her fingers gripping the edge of the wall. Lu Xian stepped between them, protective. "She's not seeing visitors." The man didn't back down. "She's not a visitor. She's my fiancé." The words dropped like a bomb in the hallway. Her heart skipped a beat. Fiancé? That couldn't be right. Could it? "I think you're mistaken," Lu Xian said firmly. "She doesn't remember anything, and she doesn't need confusion right now." But the man pulled out his phone and showed her a photo, a picture of her smiling in front of a lake, her arm around his shoulder. She was wearing the same necklace she had on when Xian found her. Her knees buckled a little. The image was clear. That was her. Her mind reeled. Was she really engaged? Why hadn't she remembered him? And why didn't her heart react the way it did when Xian was near? Later that night, she sat in the guest room. No, her room now, staring at the photo on the screen. Her face looked happy, content. But the man in the photo, his touch didn't stir anything. Not the way Lu Xian's small gestures did, like when he silently left tea outside her door when she couldn't sleep, or when he stood by during her therapy sessions, pretending to work, but never really looking away. Xian didn't talk much about himself, but his actions spoke volumes. She'd seen glimpses of the man behind the title, how he paced on the balcony when he thought no one was watching, how he softened whenever she laughed, how he defended her like he had something to lose. But now, she had questions about who she was, where she came from, and why no one had looked for her until now. The man who claimed to be her fiancé, his name was Shen Rui. He was kind, patient, and gentle in how he spoke to her. But when she asked where her family was, he hesitated. "They live overseas," he said. "They asked me to find you. After the accident, we didn't know if you were alive." Something about his answers felt rehearsed. When she brought this up to Xian, he didn't say much. He only looked at her and said, "Trust your instincts. Not everything in a photo is real." The words stayed with her. Over the next few days, tension in the house thickened. Shen Rui started visiting more, often trying to take her out, showing her more photos, more memories. But the more he pushed, the more distant she felt. She started having flashes, screaming, running, headlights in her face. And a voice. A woman's voice, whispering in panic. "You were never supposed to find out." At night, she would wake, up with her heart racing. And slowly, the pieces began to come together. She wasn't just a girl who lost her memory. She was someone who had run. One evening, as she stood by the window, Lu Xian joined her. He didn't ask questions. He just handed her a blanket, silently. "Do you think I'm a bad person?" she asked, voice shaking. He turned to her, eyes unreadable. "No, I think you're scared. And I think you're trying to figure out who you can trust." She looked at him. "And you? Can I trust you?" He didn't answer right away. Then he said, "I have nothing to gain from lying to you, but I think someone else might." The next morning, she asked Shen Rui to take her to the house they used to share. He agreed instantly, too eagerly. When they got there, everything looked perfect. Too perfect. All her things were in place. Photos on the wall, makeup on the vanity. But something felt off. "Why do none of my clothes have tags?" she asked suddenly. He froze. "And why are the photos all dated after the accident? Even the ones where I'm with you?" He hesitated. "I didn't want to scare you. I thought if things looked normal, you'd feel safe. Or you thought I wouldn't ask questions." His face changed. Not angry, controlled. Like he was adjusting to a new tactic. "I love you, Yanyan. I did what I had to do. You don't remember how much we meant to each other." But her heart was pounding. Her instincts screamed, "Run." That night, back at Xian's house, she finally said the words, "I don't think I'm who they say I am." He looked at her. "Then we'll find out the truth. Together." Later that week, a private investigator Xian had quietly hired brought them a file. Real name: Yin Royan. Status: listed as missing. Family: no contact since 2 years ago. Last: known employer: a private medical clinic, and one note scribbled in red. Whistleblower: witnessed something she wasn't supposed to. Disappeared. Her hands shook. "I didn't lose my memory in an accident," she whispered. Xian's jaw tightened. "Someone wanted you gone." And then they both heard it. The sound of glass shattering downstairs. Someone had broken in. The story was no longer just about a girl with no memory. It was about why someone went so far to erase it, and now they were getting close to something dangerous. The sound of glass breaking echoed through the house like a warning bell. Royan's breath caught in her throat as Xian instinctively stepped in front of her, shielding her. His usually calm eyes turned sharp, alert. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. The danger had finally come knocking, and they both knew it wasn't random. Xian motioned for her to stay behind and moved cautiously toward the source of the noise. Royan's hands trembled, but something had shifted inside her. Fear was there. Yes, but so was something stronger: resolve. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was about uncovering the truth and finally taking back her life. Downstairs, a shadow moved across the living room. Xian caught it immediately. "Who's there?" he called out, voice steady. No reply. Just the eerie creak of a floorboard and the low hum of tension crackling in the air. Royan, unable to stay back, followed silently, clutching her phone, ready to call for help. Then suddenly, Shen Rui stepped out of the dark, holding something in his hand. It wasn't a weapon, but the look in his eyes was more dangerous than anything physical. "You left me no choice," he said, voice calm in a way that chilled her. "You were supposed to forget. You were supposed to come back to me. You don't know what you're walking into." Royan stared at him, confused and angry. "You lied to me. You staged a fake life and fed me fake memories. Why?" "Because you were in danger," Shen Rui snapped, then caught himself, lowering his voice. "You saw something. At the clinic. Something that got your boss arrested. You were going to testify. And someone powerful didn't want that to happen. I was told to get you out of the country quietly. But then your car crashed. I thought you were dead. When I found you again, I thought I could protect you by keeping the truth from you." Xian's fists clenched. "You mean control her, not protect her?" Shen Rui shook his head. "You don't understand. They're still looking for her. If they know she remembers, she won't be safe. But she was never safe living a lie," Xian said. "She has a right to the truth, a right to decide." Royan felt her knees weaken, but she stood tall. "I remember flashes now. I remember someone warning me, telling me not to trust what I see, and I should have trusted my instincts from the beginning." She looked at Shen Rui, softer now. "Maybe you wanted to help, but helping someone doesn't mean locking them in a lie. It means standing by their side when things get hard." Shen Rui didn't say anything for a long time. Finally, he put the file he had in his hand on the table. "This is everything I kept from you. The people who tried to silence you, they haven't stopped. But you're not alone anymore. Just be careful. He walked out before anyone could stop him. Inside the file were names, phone numbers, documents, proof that Royan had been a whistleblower in an illegal drug case involving a powerful company. The crash hadn't been random. It was meant to silence her. With the evidence in hand, Xian used his contacts to quietly alert the right authorities. It wasn't easy. Weeks of interviews, hidden cameras, and cautious meetings. But eventually arrests were made. The company's corruption was exposed, and for the first time in months, Royan could breathe. She didn't get all her memories back. Not fully, but she stopped chasing the past. She started building something new, something real. She moved into a small place of her own, not far from Xian's, though he often just happened to drop by with lunch or walk her home. She began volunteering at a clinic, helping people who felt lost, because she knew what it meant to feel like you had no name, no past, no place to belong. Xian never asked her for anything. But one evening, as they sat on the rooftop watching the city lights, she took his hand. No dramatic speeches, just a quiet smile and a soft, "Thank you for not giving up on me." He squeezed her hand gently. "I didn't rescue you, Royan. You saved yourself. I just walked with you." And in that moment she knew home wasn't a place, it was a feeling. And sometimes it found you when you least expected it. So yes, the girl who once woke up with no memory, no name, and no future, now had something more powerful than any of that. She had a second chance, a new beginning, and this time, it was hers to write. The end.